What's happening, Nerd Squad, and welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. The Joker has been kicking around since his first debut back in Detective Comics issue 569. The character was first created by Jerry Robinson, Bill Finger, and Bob Kane, and we've seen numerous reincarnations on the big screen. After falling into a vat of chemicals, turning his skin white and his hair green, plus, homicidal ways of life in his brain, it's also fun. It's no surprise he's done a lot of horrible shit in the past. So here to count down 10 of those not so pleasant moments. I'm your curly-headed host, Taylor McWaters. Let's get counting. Number 10, it's raining glass. Not hallelujah. In Batman Confidential issue 11, released back in 2008, we catch up with the Joker as he's prepared a blimp to soar over Gotham City. A nice blimp, you know how we get our hands on blimps. So when the police trail the large aircraft, it begins to descend towards the city, and then it finally explodes. Now you'd think that's already bad enough, that's quite stressful, but how about shards of glass that were inside said blimp? Just started raining down, just shards of glass raining down on Gotham's finest. I mean, scientifically it would look pretty, like all the light refraction, you'd be like, oh, then it's glass, so, short-lived. The glass shards were covered also in this Joker venom, so they wouldn't only cut you, they would cut you and then you would go insane. This whole charade just to get Batsy's attention, and he didn't even buy it. Why? Because Batman was too busy beside Lorna Shore in the hospital, didn't even acknowledge the whole thing. I mean, you gotta try a little harder than that, Joker, which he definitely does. There's a reason this is number 10. Oof. And before we continue on with this dark list, if you want to go ahead and give us a thumbs up, it'll be the only happy thing probably in this list. So if you want to do that, kind of balance out the scales of emotion, that would be great. No pressure, but please. Number 9, Joker snaps. In the Dark Knight Returns comic from the mind of Frank Miller, Joker has returned 10 years later after being catatonic, because Batman has also returned to Gotham. Makes sense. He successfully convinces doctors at Arkham Asylum that he's now a sane person, and Joker even makes an appearance on a late-night talk show just to butter it up, make it look really good. Fearing the worst, Batman shows up and Joker was still indeed a monster inside. He then released a cloud of Joker venom into the audience and he escaped. So naturally a chase ensues through a fair, it's pretty stressful, and Batman finally catches up to Joker in the Tunnel of Love, of course, of all places. Batman literally breaks Joker's neck a bit. He breaks his neck a bit, not enough to kill him, good old Batsy following his one rule. The thing is though, Joker did want the last laugh, and if anything, to make Batman look like a killer. So he called Batman a coward and then just twisted his own neck until his own spine cracked. Imagine a clown calling you a coward and then breaking his own neck. I wouldn't sleep at night. I wouldn't sleep a wink. That's so scary. Coward. No, okay. You said it, man. Number 8, Death of the Family. Not to be confused with Death in the Family, which I may or may not talk about later. Beginning with Batman 426, Death of the Family is written by Jim Starlin, where Joker kidnaps the Bat family in order to lure in Batman to his trap. This trap being a creepy dinner where the guest's face have a bag over their head and there's bloody bandaging underneath. It's really a messy scene. They're stuck in their seats as well, and they're covered in gasoline, so if Batman were to stand up or make any sudden moves, a fire would erupt. It's bad news. Now this is not an ideal dinner date, especially when the meals come into play. Once the lids to the dinner tray are lifted, the guests see their own faces down in front of them. This ended up being a sick joke and everybody got out okay, but the trauma that they have to live with, on top of being kidnapped by the Joker, that's scary enough. They thought they were eating their own faces for dinner. Yuck. Number 7, Nightwing's home. In that same storyline, Death of the Family, the Joker gets up to much worse than just a face-off prank. At the start of the comic, Nightwing initially tried to warn Bruce because their identities were on the line. Haley's Circus was also supposed to open up in Gotham around the same time, but clearly things were a little wild and dangerous, so Dick opted to relocate that circus to keep the members safe. They're his friends, practically family, and co-workers. Makes sense. Only the Joker was already more than a few steps ahead of him. The Joker took out one of Dick Grayson's ex-girlfriends and the main clown act. He hit him where it hurts, but he wasn't done yet. The Joker set up a party for Dick. He got all the other performers, who are very much not alive at this point, and used Joker venom so they would double down and attack their enemy, as well as being, corpse-like. It's a double whammy. Number 6, Full Monty. In Brian Azzarello's Joker, we see the Clown Prince go full psycho mode. The Joker returns to a lovely dancing establishment with poles and whiskey and such, and there he runs into his old pal Monty. It's been a while, so naturally drinks are an affair. Joker's out, let's party, right? Let's do it, pop some champagne. So one of the dancers that comes to the stage is that of Harley Quinn. Joker gets a little distracted and then he gets more and more eager to have this specific discussion with Monty. It's getting tense for the two. So the two leave for a bit, and then the next dancer to come to the stage is Monty. And well, he's not in his birthday suit because, well, the birthday suit means skin. Monty did not come out with any skin. In fact, he didn't even dance. He just came out skinless, reached out in horror, and then fell to his death. The one guy in the back of the club puked. Yeah, only one guy threw up. Isn't that wild? Number 5, Batman Endgame. Great name, not the same at all. Written by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo in 2014, Batman Endgame is a 6-issue miniseries where the Joker releases an airborne virus so that every citizen in Gotham turns into these mini Joker maniacs, just running around, flipping cars, doing evil riot stuff. Maybe tiki torches, I don't know, probably. Sounds fitting. That sounds bad at first, but we are talking about the Joker, so that's just the beginning of this madness. The Joker also used this virus to make the Justice League members go after Batman and try and kill him, turning the team against themselves. Classic stuff right there. So Batman had to use everything he has to fight off his powerful coworkers. What a night. Number 4, torturing Tim Drake. In Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker, created by Tim and Paul Dini, we see the Joker and Harley kidnap Robin. They just scoop up Tim Drake one night when he was out patrolling the city by himself. All of a sudden he has to save a lady from 2 thugs, which normally, that's a cakewalk, easy peasy, well trained for this, but it turns out this was all a setup. The Joker trapped him, took him to Arkham Asylum, and used shock therapy, serums, abuse, basically anything to break the boy Wonder for 2 weeks straight. 2 weeks! That's a long time to be tortured. Sadly, he was eventually brainwashed until he started to spill secrets of Batman. They end up turning him into a mini Joker, giving him the appropriate nickname JJ as Joker Jr. Joker Jr. or Junior Chicken, which do you like more? Number 3, Barbara Gordon. The Killing Joke was brought to us by Alan Moore back in 1988, and since its debut it's been referred to as one of the best graphic novels ever published. Not too shabby. A few knocks on the door that would soon change Barbara Gordon's life forever. It is so sudden and violent. She thinks at first that it's Colleen arriving to hang out early, but when she opens the door she realizes the pale face looking back at her is not indeed Colleen. It's the Joker in a tropical button-down shirt. He shot her and she in turn was paralyzed. Her days as Batgirl were already winding down, but this certainly was a brutal way to finalize her Caped Crusader days. Number 2, killing Jason Todd. A Death in the Family, here we go. It is a 4-part storyline written by Jim Starlin, published in 1988, and this was a huge moment in the Bat story, perhaps one of the biggest. Well, rather a huge moment for Robin. The second Robin had just met his birth mother for the first time. She was in a rough spot in life. She was actually forced to work with the Joker, so his new plan was just to get her to safety. That was the main goal. She ends up pretty much handing Jason over to the Joker, where he then beat him with a crowbar half to death, and then he left both Jason and his mother to die in an explosion. Now, this wasn't all on the Joker, although it sounds like it when I say that out loud. Fans at the time had a say in this whole situation. There was a 36-hour period in September 1988 where you could call in and vote if the Joker should indeed kill Robin. And it was really close. It came down to like 200 votes, and then somebody apparently later on admitted to voting like a couple hundred times. So that's insane. Imagine if George R.R. Martin did that for Game of Thrones. He's like, hey guys, call in if you want me to do the Red Wedding. I don't know. Number 1, Sarah Essen. This next one takes place during the Christmas holiday season. How joyous and wonderful is that? She made her first appearance in Batman issue 405 in the Year 1 storyline, simply as Gordon's partner. We meet Sarah Essen. Now, after Gordon's divorce, the two of them started to date, and eventually, since things were going so well, they got married. Yes, true love exists. I knew it. I knew it was out there somewhere. Never give up, guys. In Detective Comics issue 741, the Joker draws Sarah to the basement of the Gotham police station where he distracts her using a baby. I'll leave it simply as that. That's all I'll say about the baby stuff. Only to shoot her on the spot, ending her life. All those babies, all that planning. What a dark way to end. What a dark point to end. Hey, there's a sad way to end the video. Like, you guys asked for it. This is some dark shit. Well guys, there you have it. What a depressing video. I know the Joker has done a lot of other horrible things, so let us know down in the comments which other moments we forgot, which ones stuck with you, so we can remind you and then we can remind everybody else and bum them out. Thank you so much for watching us on Top 10 Nerd. I've been your host, Taylor McWaters, and we'll see you next time in a hopefully less depressing episode. Okay, bye.